And welcome back, everyone. Welcome to World Team League 2022 Winter Code S Round 7, Day 1. I'm, of course, your host Live VIP, and with me is the one, the only, sitting back with the beaches, AsherBro.
Why did you wake me from my slumber? I was enjoying the beaches, and then light comes out of nowhere. He's got his top halfway undone, and he's like, "Papi, we have to cast, Papi." I'm like, "How did you get here? Why are you here?" I was on holiday.
You had a beautiful time smoging people on the ladder, just getting that MMR, laying down with the beaches, like everything was going well. And now you're stuck here with me casting nothing but PVZs.
I just heard behind me in my ear. Gah!
Gah! And speaking of, we do have quite a juicy matchup for us today. We have Alpha X coming up against SSLT, and I did mention it earlier. The way that things lined up, it's the ideal scenario. It's the dream state, Papi. Nothing but PVCs.
Oh God. Okay. I'm glad I didn't look at the lineup before this.
Oh, you didn't know?
I would have been smoging, Papi.
You would have been. You would have gone to bed.
My time at the
I would have been. Papi, are you good to cast? And I would have gone silence. Like you don't respond.
It would have been like, I'm playing COD. I can't do that. Yeah, we do have some pretty cool matchups. I think Alpha X, pretty safe to say, quite heavily favored in this matchup, but Starving Camels have shown that is no barrier for them, especially for Firefly, the ace player of the team.
Yeah, really, they're going to be looking at Firefly to carry them through, to lead the way through the darkness on how to achieve the wins here in these PVZs and ZVPs. What I will say is that, since they are teammates and they're good friends, I imagine they have some pretty good practice for this matchup. The Zergs on SSLT, I mean. So they are going to come in prepared here as our first match. Going to be that Zoun versus TooDming.
Nice.
Nice. I see it. Yeah.
So this first match is going to be on inside and out. So we should be seeing a bit more of an aggressive matchup between these two players. I'm wondering, is Zoun going to be doing disruptor memes?
Oh, I'm sure he is going to be going for some memes tonight. Zoun is a very unique Protoss player in that way. He does kind of have his own flair to him. And really, we've got to look at TooDming to be like, mate, how are you going to take down someone like Zoun? What are we going to see? Some cheese? Are we going to see some all-ins? What is he going to show us as his opponent in the top right-hand corner of Inside and Out? Alpha X's Zoun.
And in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, in the red, this is TooDming. Camel's big vibing. Oh, bye-bye, Camel.
The Camel big chillin', trying to big chill here against the Protoss. And oh my God, we have a drone scout. What? Oh, that's not a scout, Bob.
No,
that's not. Oh wait, no, I'm blind.
Yeah. So this is TooDming just really likes getting his hatch down on 16 for whatever reason, so he sends it early.
Yeah. Look, for some reason I thought Protoss was towards the south, and I was very confused for a moment.
Hey, he's drone scouting all of his mineral patches.
He's drone scouting his hatches, Pup.
He hatch blocked his main. What an animal.
He's crazy, Poppy. He's crazy. Oh my God. Okay, so standard openers here from all of our players so far. But again, TooDming, he's been around for a very long time. He's a veteran of the scene. He's amazing. He's beautiful. And I'm sure, again, he's got something special in store, especially on the inside now. I feel like this isn't the worst map for aggressive play.
I mean, I think so. This is a map that is pretty nice for roach styles, especially just because there's such an easy way to get across. And then once you open up those rocks outside the triangle third, if they do take that one, you do have some pretty nice surface area to attack from.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I just wanted to see what I wanted to see. I wanted a proxy hatch. Okay.
In the main.
In the main, let's go. Pull a chase, Poppy. Oh my God.
Oh, it's the boom build.
It's the
You know the boom build where you stack the 2 drones on top of
Yeah,
each other?
yeah,
And you
yeah,
go into
just stack
scout
it.
and then you split them off?
Yeah.
dark?
Oh my god. Have you seen the VOD of Chase doing that?
No, but I'm not surprised.
Oh my god. How did you piece it together? You had so oh my god, you're crazy.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Chase did that to Probe, and he actually beat Probe with it. It was crazy.
Oh, no, I said the boom build. You know the streamer boom?
Yeah. No, I'm
Yeah,
saying
does it
Chase
too.
did that same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, Chase's boom. I know.
Okay.
I'm aware. It's fine.
Aye. Oh, good. As we are just getting into swing things, no surprises here. Zoun, of course, going for a Stargate opener, nothing crazy. He's not pulling a classic and going for a Robo or any kind of Twilight Council first. Just standard. Oh,
Okay. But yeah, he is opening up with the Void Ray. This is something I've seen Zoun do a lot. I know he very heavily favors mixing up his openings all from the same look for the Zerk. So he'll open up Void Ray, go into standard with like Void Ray, Oracle Void Ray or something like that, or he'll open up Void Ray, go into a charge all in. He has a lot of different openings that he can play off of this.
yeah. You know, he has like I don't know if it's like disdain for the hero style, but like he's not really, we don't really see it too often from him. Same with Creator, you know, they're both kind of cut from the same cloth in a way when it comes to Protoss and PVZ. So this Void Ray is gonna keep TooDming in the dark as long as he's able to find the Overlord, and it looks like he will. And from here, he is indeed making an Oracle.
I feel like Protosses just have like this. I want to say snowflake, but I don't want it to have the connotations of like Twitter snowflake. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I want to say snowflake is in they all want to have their like unique way of doing the build.
Yeah. They want to be hipsters, you know. They want
Say fingerprint. Maybe that's better.
Fingerprint, you know, they want to be special in their own way. They don't want to conform to Hero and his beautiful smile. You know, they want to be different. Oh my god. Speaking of different, mate, we got +1 air attack.
Oh, he's going to Stargate. He's actually going to do it. What an animal.
He's an animal, puppy. Okay, so the Void Ray is going to keep all this hidden. Meanwhile, we have one Oracle going across them. This can sometimes be a risky move because I believe there isn't a second Oracle back at home to protect the third base, but right now he's getting damage done.
Yeah, that Oracle just got a lot of damage and beautiful micro coming out from Zoun, gliding that Oracle very nicely as we do see him actually throwing down a Twilight and a Forge. So I'm finding this build very hard to follow, to be honest.
This is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Go on.
Well, I was going to say, normally the old meta before the Void Rays were changed was to go Void Ray, Oracle, Void Ray into a second Stargate and +1 on your air. That was like the stock standard build that everyone was doing every single game, and it was awful. But it looks like that's not what he's doing whatsoever. So I don't understand the +1 air.
Yeah, I'm trying to piece it together here. And as you're saying, instead of a maybe +1 air, he's only getting it so he can fake his opponent out. So if TooDming goes for a Link Scout, he's going to see +1 air on the way and then maybe overreact. But I'm getting deja vu. We've actually had this conversation while casting Zoun, and we're like, no, yeah, it's like a fake out. He's crazy. He's cracked. And then he lets it finish. And then we're like, okay.
Yeah. But
So, yeah.
he is making more Void Rays. He's going up to 3 Void Rays, getting charged as well. So might just be some kind of like 4-5 Void Ray charge all in. It's very odd to me.
Yeah, this has kind of made a little bit of a resurgence. I don't want to say it's been gaining popularity, but like these charge Void Ray like offbeat timings like have been catching a couple of Zerg players off guard recently. So maybe he wants to hit a timing with that. What throws me off though is that, you know, even though, you know, we can maybe hit with +1 melee, or sorry, +1 attack, we still have a a Templar Archives behind this as well to get into Archon. So like we have a lot of tech on the way.
And these charge Void Ray timings, is that with multiple Voids? Like, I've definitely seen it off 1 Void, but...
Oh yeah, I've seen it with up to 4 Voids. It's disgusting.
Okay.
For the Queens. It's absolutely gross.
Interesting.
But this doesn't seem to be the case here for Zoun. You know, he's even getting some sentries to backing up some energy. Some more gateways are being thrown down. Outside of the initial damage from this Oracle, he's been relatively passive here, and yeah, he's not necessarily moving out.
Yeah, it's just moving around with this Oracle, just keeping an eye on everything that's going down. We'll notice that 4th is a little bit late, so I think considering that his 4th is not that far behind the Zergs, he should feel like he doesn't really need to push across the map that hard.
Yeah, he's getting his own fourth. We have a robotics bay on the bay is back, Bobby.
Robo Bay.
The Robo Bay never left us. Uh, but yeah, again, just more tech being thrown down. This one Oracle, by the way,
Oh my
even though he
goodness.
only got one, has gotten an insane amount of damage.
Yeah, getting up to, I think it's 10 drones and killing a few of these, yeah, it is 10 kills. And killing a few of these lava as well. Not sure, does lava count on the kill? I don't think it does, right?
I don't think it does, unfortunately. But yeah, surprising amount of damage done here. Meanwhile, we did see a Spire from TooDming, and the Madman is going into Muta production. At the same time, 2 more Stargates are being thrown down. So Zoun is looking to transition into Sky Toss. These Mutas could deal quite some damage. They have gone unscattered, and at the same time, TooDming is pushing out with his ground army.
Yeah, this is a very large amount of mutas, actually. Kind of interesting that he is pushing out on the ground while making that many mutas. But he does have a lot of coins here, and he is bringing the overlords forward to poop creep as well. So a lot of overlords, actually, for that purpose. And there is a little timing here where Zoun is transitioning into that area, into those carriers, where these mutas could definitely get a decent amount of damage. But we do see some cannons and batteries going down, so I have to believe that Zoun has some kind of idea of what's coming his way.
Yeah, Zoun finally has eyes on this army as it does break down those rocks. He does have a couple of disruptors. Disruptors will hold the line in the ground. At the same time, mutas dip in, but Overcharge is going to be good enough to force this back. And unfortunately for TooDming, Zoun does have the production to switch into Mass Phoenix production. You know, he's got those 3 Stargates.
Yeah, with all those cannons as well in the mineral lines, I have to think that he was aware of this muta switch coming in, but these mutas are going to be diving into this mineral line here, gets the cannon, get a lot of damage on those probes as well, but the Void Rays, they're just going to stand and fight. Zoun doesn't really need them right now.
Yeah, and at the same time, TooDming isn't pushing in with his main army. Because that, it's giving Zoun the freedom to push out with his own army, to move in with his disruptors. It looks like the main armies are engaging here, and oh, we get a surround on the disruptor.
Yeah, one of those disruptors going down. We do have those Archons just being pushed back to the base, back to the safety of the shield battery. Meanwhile, the mutas just skirmishing up at that 4th.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the mutas, they only got 4 probe kills for quite a lot of mutas, actually. I believe that 12 count has gone down to the single-digit numbers at this point. It looks like he's going to want to try and dip back in. Meanwhile, TooDming going to try and distract him here, trying to find damage somewhere, somehow. He's just not really finding it.
Yeah, those Archons turning those Zergs into red mist right now, but there is a pretty considerable amount of Ravagers and Queens here. TooDming's done a good job preserving that Queen count.
Yeah, it's really difficult pushing into disruptors in a defensible position, right? And that disruptor count, it's only getting higher as time goes on, so he is on a bit of a timer. The supplies are looking really good for TooDming, but again, doesn't have the most efficient army as time goes on.
Yeah, Disruptor Shot just clipping that Ravager now. Zoun sending out a little bit of a Zealot run by. He's going to be able to create some chaos, and that actually brings the entire army of TooDming home.
Yeah, everything turns around to deal with this, and this is what I'm really worried about. Fleet Beacon is finally thrown down here, so soon Zoun is going to take to the skies, and TooDming isn't really ready for it. He is working on a greater Spire, don't get me wrong. He does have access to Corruptors if he needs them, but he doesn't really have a tell to tech in that direction.
Bit of an interesting choice there. If Zoun does start to go into carriers, then those Corruptors aren't really ever going to be allowed to turn into Broodlords.
Yeah. Yeah, like, it looks like TooDming is getting ready for everything anti-ground, because he's delaying his own Spire upgrades. Like, his Corruptors aren't going to be that well upgraded either when they go up against the carriers. Ooh, the muta count is going to get reset here, and TooDming is backing off. He's looking to be a little bit more defensive.
Yeah, he's backing off. We see him getting his Baneling speed, getting that +3 missile attacks, and starting just to build up a little bit more economy. But I do have to worry for him. If he lets this game stay 4 base versus 4 base, I have to favor the Protoss in that situation.
Yeah, I have to favor him as well. I mean, the upgrades aren't looking too bad here for TooDming, but like, and at least he is making Corruptors now.
Yes, my stream's paused. Is yours?
Yeah,
as
me
well?
too. Yeah, I was trying to pretend like it wasn't. I was trying to say something with what the information I could and then pass it over. Oh no, is the stream maybe having some technical issues?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
We're back.
Okay, we're good. Whew. Muta's in it.
Ah!
Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay.
Good? We're good.
We're,
I think
we're
we're
okay.
good.
Yeah, we're okay. We're okay.
All right, well, to catch everyone back up, we have that 5th base going down. A lot of those mutas getting absolutely destroyed by the Archons up in the top left-hand corner as well. We do have some of these Phoenix picking off the Ravagers, and the Lynx is trying to clean up the Zealot run by on the left here.
Yeah, and I'm really worried because the first wave of Corruptors were actually morphed into Broodlords, which isn't a bad thing, don't get me wrong, but Carriers have arrived. Carriers are on the way, and we need more Corruptors than anything right now.
Yeah, 100%. These carriers are getting chronoed out 3 at a time, and there's already a very strong army on the ground. We have plenty of Archons and Disruptors.
Yeah, that we do. Meanwhile, TooDming is going to go or try to go for run by. He needs to get rid of these roaches right now. He is maxed out with a very inefficient army. These roaches are just dead supply. They're hurting him more than they're helping him. And he's going to try and trade, but Zoun is actually ignoring this roach run by. He's moving out with his carriers.
Yeah, he's just going to go straight across the map, and this is the absolute bane of Zerg players everywhere. This is what that made this style so difficult to deal with, is there's just these critical massive carriers where you can just send it straight across the map, and I don't think TooDming has anywhere near enough Corruptors right now.
Yeah, I don't think he can really deal with this. He's going to turn around. He does have a lot of queens to support, don't get me wrong. Ooh, we even have, not even a parasitic bomb. We have a microbial shroud being thrown down, but ooh, a couple of Novas are connecting with the queens.
That AoE here, Cloud, is right there. Storm here, Disruptor here, Nova here. Yeah. This is where it goes, and meanwhile we have Zoun making the full transition into Skytoss. We see the Tempests on the way as well as the shield upgrade.
Yeah, the Tempests are a great response here to the Broodlords. Broodlords are a siege unit. Tempests are the answer, the counter to that. We're going to need some spellcasters to help this out. I believe we do have a couple of Vipers. I think there may be one Infestor surviving from that engagement, but TooDming is up against the wall.
Oof, yeah, he is trying desperately to get a 4th base up at all, and these Broodlords are going to clean up these unattended Stalkers, but I don't think Zoun even wants them. I think he's more than happy to be transferring those into Tempest. Meanwhile, we do see him throwing down 7 extra gates, so he will be prepared, if need be, to go into a mass Blink Stalker transition if his air does get cleaned up.
Yeah, and that's a massive if, mate, and that is the real bane of the Zerg's existence. They're like, okay, I'm just going to make nothing but Corruptors, right? And Queens, we're going to deal with the air, then they win a fight, and then bam, mass Blink Stalker, and then we smooch.
Yeah. That's that. But Zoun has been ahead on bases pretty much all game, or at least even with the Zerg, which is not where you want to be as a Zerg, and I think that will show through in his economy as the game goes on. I mean, TooDming he's completely broke.
Yeah, exactly. He just doesn't really have a lot of gas or minerals to work with right now. He does have a decent Corruptor count, and the upgrades are slowly kicking in. He's got 1 Viper and soon to be 2 Infestors. There's a lot of pressure on those 3 spellcasters as Zoun just refines his army even more.
Yeah, Zoun is getting every type of unit that he wants here. He's getting all the upgrades, getting the DT shrine down, getting those extra air upgrades, just rich and happy to keep spending into getting his lead further along.
Oh, exactly, and it's all going to come down to this one big engagement. Zoun is finally comfortable and confident with his army. He's got his carriers, he's got Tempest, he's got Storm, he's got Archons. He has almost the perfect Protoss army. The only one thing he's missing is -400 if he wanted to go that route. And there isn't even a Spore Forest here, not quite in position.
Yeah, and there is so much splash here for Zoun. We do see he's hiding those High Templars behind the Disruptors. The Disruptors are going to be going down to the Infestors, but there's so much going on right now.
Yeah, exactly. We got a couple of pros being sent to their deaths trying to long distance mine. No, they're not even mining. They're just chilling. They're fighting. They're fighting the drones. They're winning the fight. Animals, Papias. We have a Fungal coming in as well, but these Tempests are just going ham here. In come the Corruptors. As they come in, Storms just blanket everything.
Yeah, nice yoink there, but without the Fungals, without the Parabombs, I don't think Zoun really minds losing these units. He has the economy to replace them. These Archons just running through and wrecking house, getting so much splash on those Corruptors. Oh my goodness, those Corruptors just melt.
And GG gets called. Zoun with a nice and interesting win there. The end game seemed pretty standard, getting to that Skytoss Death Ball army, but the way Zoun got there, was pretty fancy. It was pretty wild.
Mate, I thought you were going to be the one enjoying all these ZVPs, but I think I'm the one having a good time and you're the one having a bad time here.
Man, I came into this prepared, okay? I expect all the Zergs to have a hard time tonight, not gonna lie.
Pure suffering.
Pure suffering, puppy. But like Zoun's build this game, it actually was pretty crazy. Like he took a lot of weird turns. He took a left, he took a right. He teched in almost every direction. Didn't necessarily waste his resources making an army there with all of that tech. Just was just being as efficient as possible.
Yeah, something that was really efficient. One thing that was really interesting about that is he was on one Stargate for ages. Went the Forge, went the Twilight, went a whole bunch of gateways, and then just didn't really end up having to use them. So yeah, it's pretty curious. But it worked out.
Yeah, the +1 air attack is really curious as well because it didn't really impact the early to mid game when he got it. So again, you can argue like it's a little bit of a waste, but like I guess he's just kind of laying down the foundation, laying the pavement as he works his way towards eventually Skytoss. Obviously, if I guess his Zerg opponent is a little bit more aggressive earlier on, then he's gonna have a little bit of a harder time. But we saw that he had disruptors out like at a decent moment there.
I think it was just foreshadowing. It was just Zoun taking a bit of creative license, getting that air attack up there just to kind of set the scene.
Yeah.
Just to get a bit of depression amongst all the Zergs in the chat.
Oh god, he was just getting us all mentally prepared for what was to come. Unfortunately, I don't know if TooDming was mentally prepared for that, especially because game number 2 he's going for a larger map.
Yeah, this is kind of interesting. It is a larger map. It's probably a safer map as well, but at the same time, it's a map with much more open space than Inside Out. So if he does want to play a very heavy Lingbane +1 melee style, I think that'll be nice for him. But here we are spawning in the top left-hand corner for AlphaX. It is Zoun.
In the bottom right-hand corner, Cosmic Sapphire representing Team SSLT. It is TooDming.
Doo-doo-doo.
I wonder how these, sometimes I wonder, like how they like pick their names.
I remember there was some really weird Day 9 story about picking names by like dropping objects downstairs and just kind of like making things out of what they like say as they fall down the stairs. Just, like,
what they say?
It's like TooDming.
Okay.
I don't know. It kind of fits.
Yeah. It makes
like
sense.
the Korean names, the cool Korean names where it's just like a word. You just grab a dictionary, you just open it up and just put your finger down and you're like, Chalice. My name is going to be Chalice.
That would not be a bad name, okay? That'd be pretty sick. Zoun is going to just cringe a little bit there as that was a misplaced Nexus. Oof.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was misplaced or he just cancelled it by accident when he was spamming keys.
Yeah.
I don't really know what that was, but that's pretty rough, actually.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt that it was misplaced. Maybe he was just spamming a couple of keys. PSA, everyone, be careful. Unbind. I just unbound cancel because it happens so often. It's like never again.
I'm trying to think if I've ever. Oh, I haven't done that, but I have been proxy 2-raxing, and I cancelled one of them, and I just left the game.
Oh no! This will make you smudge. There was a ZVT that I played. There's a clip about it, an old clip from like 2019 or 2018, where I was getting ready. I was maxed out Lingbane like Ultra or something, and then I had my army selected. Yeah. I accidentally manually detonated all my Baileys. I was like, no! Oh my god, it was awful, puppy. It was awful. I unbound that immediately.
You just hotkeys just don't agree with you.
They don't. They really don't. Oh my god. Oh god. What was I going to say? Oh yeah. The other one is Nesty. I'll always remember Nesty. He's an old Zerg player from back in the day. He said that the way that he picked his name was that when he was picking his name in StarCraft, or whatever game it was at the time.
He just looked around his room.
Yeah, he looked at his desk and he had a bottle of Nestea.
Yeah. Incredible.
Very creative, very creative.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff around my house and I'm like, that would be like an okay name, but I don't think it's a good name. I could call myself like Banana or like Sanitarium.
Sanitarium?
Or Iodized Salt. That would actually be a sick name.
Panadol Rapid.
Yeah. Actually, I want to call myself Iodized Salt now.
Nurofen Quicksorb. Let's go.
Optizorb.
Oh my god.
Yeah. As we do
Face
see the
mask.
same face mask.
That'd be pretty sick.
Woolen glove. But coming back to the game, we do have the same opening coming out from Zoun, going from that Void Ray into the Oracle, delaying that next Void Ray by quite a lot, getting the third base down at a decent enough time as well. And yeah, as advertised, she'd been going for the +1 melee style, which makes a lot of sense on this big open map.
Yeah, so a couple of things are coming together. You called it out, right? Zoun is going for the exact same opener. He went Void Ray into Oracle, into Twilight Council, and Forge. The only thing that we're missing is +1 air attack. Meanwhile, the first two adepts don't really find too much success here. Oh my god, the Oracle goes down!
Oh. Yeah, a little bit clumsy by Zoun there. Gets a couple drones, but that is far from worth it. And we see TooDming straight away throwing down that Bayness, making a wave of Lings as well. So I think he realizes that without that Oracle there, he has a good chance of cancelling this third.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go. 22 Lings are going to be on the way. 0 Oracles. We do have a backup Oracle on the way, and it looks like it should come out just in time, but is it going to be enough to hold on to that third base? Meanwhile, you were talking about it earlier, and now I think I have to believe you about how Zoun was kind of telegraphing to the people, very early on with +1 air attack that, like, he was going to get into Skytoss. Here, he did cancel his natural at the start of the game. I think maybe maybe
like,
he was...
I have to tell you guys, I'm going to lose this one.
I'm going to lose the third, Papi. I'm going to lose the Nexus. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. As we just see TooDming, he's just going to sit on 45 drones here and just pump Ling Bane. This is a huge attack coming in from him. Almost all in, I want to say. This is extremely aggressive.
Yeah, exactly. His cut drones here at 45. He's going in with Ling Bane. The Baneling's going to be rolling in towards the natural base. I don't believe we have a shield battery. No shield battery. Oh, it's a little bit behind, but it's going to be going down.
Oh, the shield battery is there, and there wasn't a Stalker in the wall. It was an Adept, so these Banelings are going to get straight in, and this Oracle was across the map, so the Oracle can't help clean up the Lings either, and a lot of these probes are going to be going down. Zoun is in a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, Banelings are rolling towards the third base. This probes are one Baneling away from going down. A couple of Zealots are going to be able to defend the main base in time. The Banelings, they connect!
Oh, big connections coming in from the Banelings on, and the Oracle is there to clean up, but a little bit late. The probes are running through, and the probes are going to run through all of these Zerglings, and they're all on 1 health.
40 workers have gone down this game. 41 even. We have more Lings flooding across the map to take down this third base. A lot of the production is depowered as well. There is no way for this third to be saved, let alone this game. I don't know how Zoun holds from here. A couple of slow lots are coming in, charges on the horizon. It just now finishes.
Yeah, but this Oracle is out of energy. There's hardly any Zealots here. The Lings can just take this fight on, and GG, TooDming with a lovely upset win over Zoun. Nice build there.
GG, nice build, nice reaction as well. You were talking about, oh my gosh, he's just gone.
Poof, mic drop.
He's out of here, Poppy. He's got places to be. But yeah, like with the death of that first Oracle, that is huge. That is really the core defense for Protoss against these Ling heavy styles, against these Ling floods or Ling aggression. Without that first Oracle, not even just to deal damage, but also to scout this coming your way, like it is so difficult to hold on.
Yeah, I mean, ideally in that situation, you probably want 2 or 3 Oracles.
Yeah.
That's why that's been so popular as a style in general, to go 3 Oracle, just because it makes you so safe against everything. And you can see there, the way that Zoun was playing there, it's quite greedy to go from the Void Ray into the Oracle into Twilight Forge on just 2 gates. Definitely a little bit on the greedier side in TooDming. I do believe he might have been able to adjust to that based on the first game.
Yeah. All he had to do was recognize that the build seemed very similar to game number 1, and he's like, okay, I know what you're vulnerable against. If you're doing the same thing, this time I can punish you.
Just play like light. Get to that 45 drones. Remove that D key from your keyboard. Don't want to accidentally hit that.
I don't legal it. What are you saying? That's not what I do.
Yeah, like we're done. We've done enough. We're gonna remove that key. We're gonna toss it across the room. Don't want to be pressing that by accident.
41 drones is all we need, Poppy. That's full saturation on 2 bases right there. That's
Yeah, we get into that ZBZ. We get 25 drones. D key gone. Got like a backup line of D keys just over next to your computer so you can get them back.
Look. It works, okay? it works, and that is all that matters. And speaking of having it work, massive shout out to TooDming for causing a bit of an upset here, punching up and again tying things up 1-1 with Zoun. Very impressive result and a great start here for SSLT.
Yeah, really nice start. They are going to be coming in at 1-1, and this is the match coming up that I thought would be the most likely to go 1-1 out of all of them. RagnaroK versus Firefly, because Firefly, he is the ace player for the Camels. I know RagnaroK's an extremely strong player, but Firefly's got some cheeky builds.
Oh yeah, he's got some very cheeky builds. Here we go. The best chance for SSLT, like this is the best scenario here for SSLT. TooDming, he's done his job. He's taken down Zoun with him. We got Firefly coming in, the ace player. We got RagnaroK here to face him. You know, a Zerg, so he's already got that disadvantage. No, but yeah, like RagnaroK not really known for his macro. They're a very offbeat player as well.
Yeah, definitely is quite an aggressive player, but very strong as well. I think if he does feel very favored, I wouldn't be too surprised to see him play a slightly more defensive style than usual. But at the same time, yeah, Firefly, we have seen a lot of charge a lot heavy play out of him. And I wouldn't be too surprised if he had that kind of all-in coming. But here we go. We have RagnaroK's Hexagon, and gee, that's a pretty strong one.
Oh, that's a pretty strong Hexagon, mate. Meanwhile, here we have Firefly coming out. Not a bad Hexagon in his own right. Just suffering a little bit in certain aspects here. Mainly the defense and the macro.
Yeah, that's a rectangle.
Who is this? Is this XY that we're talking about here with the flat surfaces? Like, what's going on?
XY's a star. Shoom, shoom. Shoots out.
True. Aye. But we got a nice. It's not an Oreo. What's something that like? All right, the mitochondria.
The mitochondria of the cell.
The nuclei walls are just covering Firefly right now. He cannot break free.
Except in the micro department. But here we are, spawning in the top right-hand corner of the map on Stargazers. It is RagnaroK.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Stargazers, we have Firefly.
You know, something we got to talk about this. That camel doesn't look starving. That camel looks stoned. I think it's the stoned camels.
Well, that's why it's starving, puppy. That's why it's starving.
Oh,
it's got the munchies. Yeah.
It's not starving. It's just snackish.
Yeah, I mean, mate, like, what kind of state do you have to be in to eat a cactus? You know, like that's gotta be high out of your mind, puppy. Oh my god. As we have a pull first.
Yeah. We have a pull first, and we also have RagnaroK just kind of faking out that probe. The probe is going to run in, does get the scout on that, and RagnaroK is going to be able to get that hatch down as well.
Oh, yes, exactly. So Firefly is going to be able to confirm the pool first opener, bearing in mind that we are on Stargate. It's not a map that we are able to cast on too often here, but because it is so out there, because it is so strange, then maybe Firefly has something special in store for us. Not a bad map for Skytoss.
Yeah, exactly. This is a very early pull out of RagnaroK. I didn't quite get an eye on the timing. I think it must be maybe a 14 pull.
Yeah, it was 14 to 16. Nothing too crazy. I mean, the first Zealot is going to come out in time for these lings, but Firefly is a little bit paranoid. I don't know if you noticed, but I believe Firefly did throw down his second pylon as a part of that natural wall.
Yeah, so just with the supply of that Zealot, you do need that extra pylon a little bit earlier, but that will be delaying his Nexus by quite a lot. So I think RagnaroK's already achieved what he wants to with this opener.
Yeah, exactly. So inadvertent damage has been done. Ling's going to be able to chip away at a decently exposed gateway here with good enough micro. Firefly should not be losing his Zeld. He should not be getting surrounded. There we go. He's able to swat all of this away, and the game can continue from here. Just, you know, a little bit of a wonkier start, but we're all roads lead to Rome.
Okay, so like, you're Diamond Protoss.
All right.
I'm just going to put you in the shoes of a Diamond Protoss. I know you're Masters 3.
Okay, why? Okay.
Go to Diamond Protoss today, and you
Okay.
see that wall. What are you doing?
Yeah. If I'm
There's
a
only
Protoss.
one answer. No, Diamond Zerg, sorry.
Okay, I was very confused. Mate, you're bane busting, mate. We're busting that wall.
100%.
Yeah. That's why we're a Diamond Zerg. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean that natural base is looking quite exposed here. That's also why Firefly is trying to be as vigilant as possible when it comes to scouting here with his 2 adepts. It does confirm no additional gases and there is no baneling nest.
Man, that's an aggressive scout. 4 drones. Nice. We just see one of those adepts going down for the 4 drones. That is a very good trade for Firefly there. So he's going to be more than happy about that. Even takes out a Ling, and we do see him behind this quite greedily, actually going for a Twilight rather than a Stargate. So having a little bit of a gamble that RagnaroK's not going to be going into any kind of all-in variations, and the gamble is paying off. He's actually going to be going for 4-gate glaives, and this is fascinating. This is not a build I have seen for quite a long time. It's definitely fallen out of favor.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like 4-gate glaive adepts used to be all the meta last year, not so much here and now. So what's a little bit scary is do we have any scouting here from RagnaroK? We are taking note here. There we go. Overlord goes into the main base, and because there's no anti-air, RagnaroK sees everything.
Yeah, beautifully timed there. We see that Roach Warren go down instantly, and Firefly, seeing that as well, is not going to be committing too heavily here, is getting his Nexus behind this, so it'll be interesting to see just how much he wants to commit to this. I will point out as well, he doesn't have a Robo with this.
Yeah, there is no way to get a warp prism to reinforce across the map. He's just going to be warping in back at home and just sending whatever he can. You can still be relatively aggressive with this, but you have to be so careful. Because there's no robo, that means you don't have any immortal production, which means if you lose all your adepts prematurely, then you will be very, very vulnerable to a counterattack.
Yeah, absolutely. Meanwhile, for RagnaroK, we see he is just sitting on that 37 drone count. He's going to be pumping out roaches and lings. And yeah, exactly as you're saying, if Firefly doesn't go for this attack and does just try to macro out, RagnaroK's going to have a very strong counterattack.
Exactly. Like, there are no immortals to defend. There's no void rays either. Like, roaches are going to make short work of these adepts. So there we go. Blink is on the horizon, so he wants to transition into those Blink stalkers, but has to be very careful. He has to babysit these adepts.
Yeah, that's right. So just the 8 adepts for the moment going to be moving out. 9 adepts.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
9 adepts.
Okay. Yeah,
9 adepts. So good. Does commit to the shade, though, and immediately he gets surrounded.
Oh, very quick recall, but that buy will be landing. So quite a few of those adepts going down, and I think this is going to be RagnaroK's signal to go for it. He's going to be heading straight to that 3rd base looking for the cancel.
Yeah, it is go time. How vulnerable and exposed is that 3rd base? So we have shield batteries. Looks like the shield battery is going to be on the way. Looks like we already have a 2nd shield battery up and running even. 3rd on the way as well. This move out does get scattered by these adepts.
Oh, but 2 of those adepts going down, that just makes this even harder to hold. You really need those, and you can see the observer pointing out the trades have been very good for the Zerg thus far. We'll be poking over to this wall, but always going to be capturing these adepts out of position. I don't think these adepts want to be fighting this way, this far away from bases, but there's just no shield batteries at the natural.
Yeah, exactly. The shield battery is a little bit too late. I love that he diverted towards the natural. We have so many more defenses at the 3rd base, so the more vulnerable location is going to be this natural. Meanwhile, the adepts are doing a decent job here cleaning up whatever they can, but the Cybercore goes down.
Yeah, the Roach is just going to be holding off those adepts, fighting them off by themselves, and the Cybercore going down means that is it. What you see is what you get when it comes to adepts, and we don't have any charge either, so it's going to be pretty annoying to have to warp in Zealots.
Yeah, it really is. But you know what? Firefly hasn't lost any workers right now, and he is cleaning up the roaches. It may be a little bit inefficient with these adepts, but he's doing it anyway. Lings slip into the main base, but Adept Warpman is going to be able to clean them up as well.
Yeah, Firefly doing a good job there, not really losing too many probes at all, so there will be a little bit of a delay on his unit production, but he will be able to just keep pumping out these probes, and we see him immediately going for the chrono on that.
Yeah, exactly. We have a backup Cybercore on the way as well. Honestly, Firefly's probe count is not looking too bad. He doesn't have a lot of tech behind this. He does have Blink and +1, but he doesn't have a Robo, doesn't have a Templar Archives. So he's very limited with the unit production that he can go for. Just mass gateways.
Yeah, I am a little bit concerned about the lack of a robo. It does mean he doesn't really have access to any splash, so I think for RagnaroK, it might be a good idea to just go very heavily into roaches, and we do finally see that robo going down now.
Yeah, it's quite late, but at least it is on the way. At the same time, Firefly is going across now with his adepts, bearing in mind that he does have glaives. He's going to try and slip in towards that third base, but the roaches are here to meet him. How good is the target firing, though? It looks like, oh, 2 drones go down.
Yeah, nice job with the shade there, just sending that back defensively. We'll be able to take down a couple drones, but meanwhile, RagnaroK just sending out this little hit squad of roaches to clear things up, and once again, scouting with the Overseer catches that robo timing.
Oh, yeah, it does catch that timing, so he knows how vulnerable Firefly is right now. We can make a choice for RagnaroK. Looks like his choice is going to commit to just droning, taking up. We have a Hive on the way, as well as that Hydroden, so he is going to give Firefly some time to get that tech up and running to get some splash damage.
I really like that snaking path in the natural. I don't know what it is about it. Very aesthetically pleasing. We're just gonna have this conga line of stalkers just kind of like weaving their way through the wall.
It's beautiful, Poppy. It's beautiful. And meanwhile, Firefly actually slips into the main base, gonna be able to get a queen. Unlikely that he can get any tech here, but maybe some workers. Oh, Lynx are quick to react though.
Yeah, he does have blink though, so he'll be able to jump down to that high, low ground. If he can get back to that mineral wall as well, he will be able to get out of here. So just a couple of these stalkers going down, but should be able to escape.
Yeah, well, worth it. You know, sniping a queen, they can be really frustrating to reproduce here for RagnaroK. We do have now that the Hive is finishing up. Lunker Den is on the way. When we're relying on a mass gateway army like this, lurkers are the last thing you want to be up against.
Yeah, it's a great choice. We do see Firefly. He is on top of his transitions. The extra robo and the robo bag coming down now, so he will be able to start pumping out those disruptors two at a time. Beautiful force fields trapping every single drone. That was incredible.
Wow, the entire mineral line is going to be going down. Firefly is doing a lot with a little right now. The hatchery is going to fall. At the same time, Glaive Adepts get into the main base, even trading with Hydras.
Wow, yeah, Firefly pulling him apart, and I would really like to see him just back off with this army that's just taken out this base, but these Adepts getting so much damage here, and he does still have energy on the sentries too.
Yeah, he can cut up the army again if he so chose, so he has to be a little bit careful. There we go, a couple more force fields are thrown down. A lot of Overlords are going down as well. He has scouted the Lurker Den, he has seen that it is researching, but he doesn't care, he just keeps warping in Stalkers.
Yeah, he loses the sentries, which is a little bit unfortunate there, but he will just keep on warping in these stalkers. He will be able to trade with the roaches and ravagers. The lurkers are out, and I do believe this will put an end to this attack, but he is trading extremely well with the army of RagnaroK and finds himself with a supply lead.
Yeah, 31 workers went down. We don't have any observers here, so there is no detection to deal with these lurkers, but there are only 3 lurkers at the moment. So Firefly, he can just dance between the bases. He can just try and counterattack and pick off whatever units he can. He's going for the hatchery.
Yeah, he is committing to this hatchery, but I don't think he's going to get any. He does lose a few stalkers for his trouble as well. Really important for him to be a little bit more careful here, but actually these Adepts are going to roast this mineral line.
Oh my god, they almost get the lurker as well. 3 Adepts do commit to the shade in towards the natural base. At the same time, the main army wants that hatchery. It's going to cost him a lot of stalkers, but he gets the base.
Yeah, he does get it, so now he can just head back home, regroup, start to heal up some of these stalkers as the roaches do finish up a few of those as they flee, but Firefly being such a pain, just denying so much mining from RagnaroK.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, back at home, he does have double disruptor production. He has been a little bit wasteful of these stalkers, and oh my god, he may lose a couple more. He has to be very careful here. Doesn't lose any towards the end, but now RagnaroK is going for a counterattack.
Yeah, the counterattack is here. These Ravagers are going to be putting down some damage on that shield battery, and I'm a little worried for Firefly here that he lost a little bit too much across the map.
Yeah, exactly. He may end up losing this base, but the disruptors come out just in time. The first Nova gets a massive connection.
Oh, huge Nova, and the Zealots at home. Oof. They might be distracting RagnaroK because, oh, this has been almost completely cleaned up. That's incredible out of Firefly, and this is starting to look like a very solid game for him. He might actually be able to get this one.
Yeah, and now we have detection. We have that observer. GG gets called,
GG.
And Firefly takes the first game.
Pop off, son. Let's go.
oh, does he have something?
Unlucky.
Unlucky. Does he have
Wow.
like a Blu-ray copy of Thor Ragnarok that he's gonna like?
Just
He's gonna
break
tear it
it,
up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Be like, I didn't like this movie anyway.
Oh my god. But GG, very well played there by Firefly. Again, it is a very unorthodox map overall, and we saw that the Glaive Adept opener didn't really do too much. But where Firefly did get a lot of momentum was defending the Roach counterattack, where again he may have only lost a single probe, if that.
Yeah, Firefly did a really good job just flowing with the pace of that game, and his backstabs with the Adepts were extremely good. And I think that one moment where he force fielded off all of those drones was such a key moment. That was really something that swung the game in his favor. So yeah, nice upset there. RagnaroK, an extremely strong player, actually got to the finals of the last GSL, so no pushover whatsoever.
Exactly. You know, he is arguably deserving to be a tier above B, which is what he has been given here. So a very, very insane result here from Firefly. Can he keep it going here, though? Like, again, if he gets a 2-0, we could even see that upset. We could even see SSLT bring down Alpha X.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be a huge upset. Alpha X has been right up the top of the ladder. I think they're still in the top 3 at this point. So they were kind of a team to look out for to be an upset winner of this entire competition, and still are. But to lose to a team more towards the bottom of the table would be quite a big upset.
Yeah, definitely. So, hopefully Firefly doesn't let the nerves get to him. I'm sure it's already a great result here. But he has to try and remain calm, remain focused on what is ahead. As RagnaroK has chosen his map, it is Tropical Sacrifice.
Yeah, and that's pretty interesting to me. I kind of think of Tropical Sacrifice as a map that's a bit more favorable to the defender.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe RagnaroK feels like he was struggling to defend a little bit, and maybe he wants a little bit of help in that respect. Likewise, though, I feel like RagnaroK is typically a more aggressive player. I mean, we saw it then and there when he tried to push in with his Lingroach Ravager early on. So I don't know if he's playing to his strengths here. I'm really curious as to this map choice.
Yeah, I do worry a bit that this is the kind of map where you're pushing up into Disruptors, pushing up into Storm, anything like that is extremely difficult. So it can be quite easy for the Protoss to get up onto 4 bases and have a bit more of a comfortable game from there.
Yeah, I do think that the tale of this game, of this story, is going to be, can RagnaroK slow down the economy? Can he hinder Firefly and stop him from comfortably getting up to 4 base saturation? Because, again, that is kind of what happened last game.
Exactly, but here we go. We are straight into this one, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner for Alpha X. This is RagnaroK.
Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tropical Sacrifice, representing Team SSLT. It is Firefly.
It is glass of water.
It is vitamin D supplement.
Oh no. You really don't go outside.
Man, I went outside. When I went outside, I got sick, puppy. I almost died.
Aye.
Never again.
Never again. Meanwhile, we just see RagnaroK is going to be going out for this hatchery, so not going for a pull first again this time. Maybe thought that last time, that was the mindset of the week, being aggressive, going for an attacking build, and now he wants to go for the mindset of the strong and just be a bit of that punching bag, be the defensive player for the first half of the game, and just be confident in his later game escapades.
Yeah, that's the question, though. RagnaroK, he can read. I can. I can confirm. He is one of the largest minds that Zerg has to offer, especially in the Korean scene. But that worries me a little bit because quite often.
That worries me too, because he's not saying much.
Calm down, Asher. Oh my god. Ay. Wait, we're becoming extinct, puppy. We take what we can get. Oh my god.
Go on.
I was gonna say that, like, I feel like RagnaroK, he's the kind of person who, like, you know, he paves his own way. You know, he makes up his own philosophies. I don't really know if he's really one to look at a player like Dark, to look at a player like Solar, to look at other players and take from them, to take from them their teachings, if you will.
So instead of going for the mindset of the weak, the mindset of the strong, he says, I am going for the mindset of the roach. And XY is like, I don't think you understand it. And he's like, poof, roach smash, you're dead.
I'm going for the mindset of the Ling. XY is like, what? That's... No. They actually don't even have minds. You have an overmind. You have one brain controlling everything. Like, there's the individually, they have nothing.
Well, we do have RagnaroK once again, kind of delaying his gas as well. Oh no, he does have his link speed. He fully pulled off gas. I'm learning.
Yeah, he's trying to be as efficient as possible here with his gases. We're going to be not necessarily looking to get into a faster bailing nest or anything like that. Just being hyper efficient. Meanwhile, once again, Firefly, I say once again, my apologies. For the first time this series, Firefly opens up with a Stargate.
Yeah, so similar to how we saw Zoun opening up, but this time not going for a Void Ray like Zoun was. Firefly instead going to be opting for an Oracle first, going for more of that probably a multiple Oracle style, which is something that we have been seeing very popular in the meta for PvZ.
Yeah, and it makes sense on Tropical Sacrifice. You were talking about how this is more of a defensive, macro-oriented map, and I'm sure Firefly wants to comfortably get into 3-base economy here. That's something you can do relatively easily when you do go for multiple Oracles.
Yeah, and we do see him going straight into that second Oracle, making more at depths as well, so... most likely just going to be going for that classical blink style as we get that lovely swooping shot of the sponsors.
Oh, yeah, the swoosh is there. And we're going to give a massive shout out to TGI Fridays for providing the lovely chairs that we do not sit in, but I'm sure the WTL organizers do. Please give us chairs.
I mean... a good chair would be wasted on me. I don't sit properly anyway.
You need a second chair, though. You need a second chair in that apartment. What are you talking about?
I don't even have the camp chair anymore.
What? What happened? What happened?
It's gone.
What do you mean? How? But your friend took
the person
it
that belongs to needs it. Yeah.
They need to go camping.
They need to go camping. They had a friend coming over to play video games.
I don't know if you're serious or not. Oh my god. Alas, we do see the Oracles dipping in and getting 2 worker kills, but they sustain a lot of hull damage for that.
Yeah, spores are well placed and they will be able to get on out of there, but not without taking a lot of damage. So their usefulness will be a little bit more limited going into this. But RagnaroK, he's made this flood of lings and he really wants to get something done with it.
Oh my god. The wall is not a wall. The Stalker was misplaced. The Lings, they get in towards the natural base and in towards the main. We do have triple Oracle, and they do turn around to clean everything up, but how many probes are going to go down?
Yeah, I love the way that Firefly split off these Oracles as well. To split 1 to deal with the natural, split 2 to deal with the main. Doesn't quite get all of these Lings. RagnaroK's running them around and around, but this is not what RagnaroK was looking for in terms of damage whatsoever. He really wanted to cancel a third, and failing that, get some probe damage. And getting only 2 probes and not actually getting any mining time at all, more importantly.
Exactly, the probes were left to their own devices here. That was a lot of Lings, and he essentially just got a scout of the main. And it was a pretty important scout, don't get me wrong. We have 8 gateways available for Firefly, so 8 Gate Glaive Adept is insane, by the way, if he's going to commit, but he should be starting Blink after this. But again, that was a lot of lava kind of turned down the drain for RagnaroK.
I'm stealing this build. This is sick.
You're like, 8 gates? Let's go, Bobby.
That's more than 6.
That's 2 more than 6. He's cracked, Bobby. He just doesn't stop.
Yeah, we do see these roaches coming out for RagnaroK here, but I think that they should be able to finish the shade. Those will trade really nicely with the Lings there, and they're absolutely shredding through those. There are going to be enough of these roaches to push back Firefly, but he hasn't really lost too many of these adepts at all yet.
Yeah, and here we go. The Adepts, they shade into the main base. The roaches were just trickling on in. Thankfully, Firefly was fast to react here, and he's not losing too many of these workers, but again, he has traded very inefficiently with his Lings, and the Adepts are looking to shade once again in towards the natural.
Yeah, shading again. Maybe spent a little bit too much time fighting with those roaches, but we are starting to see drones fall, and there's another 8 adepts straight into this base here, and RagnaroK very slow to react.
Very slow to react. A lot of drones are finally going down. The roaches are having a hard time keeping up with all of these rotations. At the same time, the oracles are even doing a little bit of damage there towards the 4th base. And finally, things are looking to settle here, but not before a lot of workers were killed.
Wow, and have a look at the worker count. Firefly way ahead on workers here, and that's not the end of it. He's going to be jumping straight in with these 3 oracles, dives onto that spore crawler in the main, and where are the queens?
Oh, the queens, they're gone, Papi. They're trying to keep up here with the adepts with everything else. Looks like more damage is being done. That spore needs to be replaced. Finally, these adepts are being cleaned up, and RagnaroK soon, despite having a really low worker count, I feel like, is going to want to hit with +1.
Oh, yeah, there is a big timing here. A Firefly actually throwing away a lot of these adepts, and the supply is a little bit deceiving here because he was up on workers for so long, but he actually does have a very nice amount of stalkers. Firefly is in commanding control of this game. He's doing an incredible job.
He is perfectly fine, mate. Look at that stalker count. He's getting not one, he's getting a 2nd shield battery. That's crazy. That's basically an unkillable base, Papi. He's getting a 4th. And despite having +1 range, we see that the Roach Ravager is still stuck at home, still struggling to defend against all these Glaive Adepts.
Yeah, we see even more drones going down with the Adept, and Firefly, meanwhile, is setting up his force, so we'll be on equal bases with the Zerg. Like we were talking about before, equal base is not where you want to be, but those Oracles, unfortunately, just kind of getting F2'd over those Queens, I do think, but they are going to be able to start throwing down these stasis traps, and they're catching a lot of those Lings out.
Yeah, Lings are so crucial right now to deal with all of these stalkers. At the same time, we have a couple of adepts slipping in towards the 4th base to deal even more economic damage. Looks like the Lings are going to get there in time to clean them all up. The stalkers, though, are getting on top of some of these roaches. It looks like, do we have enough to break through?
Wow, Firefly is playing out of his mind tonight. He's doing such a good job here. He's going to be getting a lot of these Lings down. One of those Lings just being sent for by RagnaroK is going to trigger the stasis trap, and that will be Firefly's signal to leave, but he finds himself off creep. We'll be saving all of these stalkers.
And once again, the Oracles dip on in. They both managed to survive, getting 2 more drones, adding to the damage done earlier. And now Firefly is free to transition. Now the big question is, oh my god, he's getting up to 10 gates. Finally, we have that robot. I was like, okay, are we gonna get into any splash damage? It looks like we will eventually, but for now, we're just working with pure stalkers, and he catches the Lings.
Yeah, and considering all the stalkers, I do like this move by RagnaroK. He's going to be going more heavily into a Ling Bane-based composition, so getting that +1 melee, making a lot of Lings at the same time, we'll be able to match the mobility of Firefly.
Oh god, exactly. Trying to keep up here, trying to keep up with that mobility. It looks like a couple of stalkers may get caught out on the left-hand side, so a little bit of mispathing there from Firefly. He has to be a little bit careful. A lot of Lings are coming on in. Firefly doesn't even have a way to reinforce at the moment, as his robo is just now finishing up. He could have more gates, by the way.
Yeah, so he's going to have a lot of warp into these Zealots. Until the Zealots kick in, though, I am a little bit worried about these Stalkers. They are going to be a bit vulnerable without the Oracle support.
They really are. I wouldn't even be opposed to maybe even Firefly going for Colossi first and then waiting for the Disruptors, but we'll see what he goes for. At the same time, we have a Bathing Run by head towards the 4th base. It looks like it's going in undetected. Up, no, he notices!
Yeah, he's going to get that pull back in time. Only losing 4 probes compared to a lot of the damage that he's been doing across the map. That is not bad at all. Meanwhile, we see RagnaroK is getting up towards that 80 drone count, so we'll be able to start sending in these waves of Ling Bane, and that is very important when it comes to defending, and we have the Lurkers.
We don't just have the Lunkers, Puppy. He watches the stream. It's the Lair Tech Lunkers. Let's go.
We're desperate.
We are pretty desperate right now. Blink on Ford is going to be able to get on top of a lot of these Roaches and Ravagers, but the Lurkers are here. And without detection, there is no way for Firefly to break that 4th base.
Yeah, so Lurkers can be extremely strong on a map like this. Meanwhile, we do see a Zealot run by is going to take out some of these Queens. We see another run by of Zealots into the main. Wow, Firefly is absolutely pulling RagnaroK apart, and he's going to get this base as well.
Wow, the 4th base goes down. I don't know if you noticed. I don't know if it was intentional as Banelings are rolling in towards the bases of Firefly, but the Zealots on top of that hatchery were drawing away the spines of the Lurkers, so the Stalkers are left completely unchecked. Only 7 probes are going to be going down here. Once again, we have another denial of that 4th.
Yeah, we had that fourth being re-killed. Meanwhile, at the same time for the for Firefly, trying to get that fifth up does get that cancelled by the Lings, but he's on 4 base to the 3 base of RagnaroK, so he's very comfortably in the lead when it comes to the economy. If he can keep the pressure up, this is looking like a very strong game for him.
Oh, it really is. We have a massive run by being set up on towards the northern side of the map. We need a recall, or we need some kind of army in time. Otherwise, RagnaroK, oh, actually, he doesn't commit. He backs off.
Yeah, RagnaroK's just going to back off a little bit. We do have that revelation going down in the units. Firefly, meanwhile, has been losing a few probes here and there, so down to only 60 probes, but at the same time, he does still have just a little bit of a bank to help him replenish this army, and will be just continuing to poke forward with the Stalkers. He's starting to overwhelm RagnaroK, and the more that he can force these trades, the harder it is for RagnaroK to keep up with him in this game, and the Disruptors are here.
The Disruptors are here. The Ling count is completely being reset. Ooh, nice target firing, though. A little bit of miscontrol by Firefly. Will lose his first Disruptor. First Nova is going to go off whiffing with the army. And the Hive is done. These Lurkers are getting their upgrades. And the Lurker count is slowly getting higher and higher. We have Vipers on the way. Even though RagnaroK has been up against the wall this entire time, like, he is getting a superior army.
Yeah, this is starting to get to a little bit of a turning point in this game where Firefly is going to have to make sure that he's got a solid transition, that he is improving his army, and this one lurker here for RagnaroK actually getting a huge amount of damage.
Yeah, exactly. 6 probes have gone down and a lot of lost mine time. At the same time, RagnaroK's going for a massive counter-attack. Recall just in time is going to protect his base. Do we have an observer in position, though, as the first Nova goes off?
Well, there's going to be big Novas. We do see that lurker almost going down. One of the lurkers at the front going down. Only one lurker, 3 lurkers left with this attack, and the revelation is still there.
Oh, exactly. Meanwhile, another Disruptor is being rallied on forward. We do have detection as Revelation gets blankets upon this entire army. Oh, RagnaroK is losing everything.
Yeah, great surround coming through from Firefly, and he completely overwhelms this army, and he's just going to be able to push forward. He does have a lot more army supply right now. There are some lurkers in position to defend, but they will be having to run back out of the way, and the Novas will be able to deal with them later on.
They really are. Meanwhile, more Novas going off, connecting with the Lurkers. We have Observers, we have Detection. The Disruptors are going unchecked, and even though we have these Vipers, there just isn't enough on the ground to support them.
Oh my goodness, is Firefly doing it again? He is completely overwhelming. It gets on top of the morphing Lurker. He is right on in there. Drones are being pulled. This is full desperation mode coming out from RagnaroK.
Oh my god, he's being fueled by copium right now, mate, because there's nothing left here for the Zerg player. The ace for SSLT is going to be able to take down the GSL finalists 2-0.
Wow, what an incredible upset. RagnaroK is just fighting tooth and nail, doing everything that he can to keep himself in this game, but 38 drones have gone down, and the supply does not lie.
Oh, exactly. Base is going down left and right. Right now, RagnaroK, he's morphing in a couple more lurkers. He was able to, I think, keep a Viper alive, so he's like trying to hold on to his natural. But even then, we have the blink going forward. Even then, we had a revelation. Then there is the GG.
GG and Firefly with a 2-0 over RagnaroK, and look how happy he is with himself.
I was like, does he have the Blu-ray? Does he does he have Thor Ragnarok on hand?
Mate, he's just happy. He's happy with that win, and suddenly we have a very unexpected result. So Alpha X, who were until last week undefeated in this competition, down 3-1. They'll be fighting to get a 2-0 in this next match just to get to the ace.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Alpha X just haven't had their week this week. Back-to-back round 6 and round 7 has kind of put a blemish on their perfect record that they've had so far. But what a showing there from Firefly, just really having a solid defense overall in the first game, and even here just having a really smart way of approaching this matchup, approaching RagnaroK as well. Just really, really impressive with the mass gates.
Yeah, just really solid play coming out from Firefly. Took some really good fights, and just honestly was able to put on a huge amount of pressure in both games and have these key moments where he just took out huge amounts of drones, and the multi-prong was so impressive from him. There was a moment in that game where he had Zealots over at the linear third, he had more Zealots at the fourth, he had a Warp Prism up in the main warping in Zealots. He was everywhere.
Everywhere, Poppy. It's a very unique style that you don't see too often. It's not quite the Haas style, where Haas also goes from a mass gateway composition with but he's really greedy behind it. Like very quickly he gets up to like 4 to 5 bases. Here from Firefly, what intrigued me the most is that I think he got up to 10 to 12 gates before he got his first robo. Like it was crazy. And he didn't even have a proxy gateway in the middle of the map. So it's not like he was reinforcing like into the battlefield. Like no, he was warping in back at home. He was sending in waves of units instead, and over time, I guess because of his control, because of his attention with his army, like he was able to pull apart RagnaroK. Not something you go up against very often at all.
Yeah, definitely a pretty greedy style, just going into that mass gateway, and I think it was key that he got the drone damage that he did, and he just managed to hold at the last minute as well every time. But here we go. We do have another very strong Protoss, this time on the side of Alpha X in Max Angel Astrea.
Oh, yes, the Angel is here. Meanwhile, he's going up against another one of these rectangles. Does he have the same rectangle as Firefly?
It's pretty similar, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Are they trying to tell us something? You know, is something going on? Oh, apparently Silky eclipsing the offense of Astrea? I don't know about that one.
He plays Zerg. Protoss can't do anything.
What are you
They're
talking
just trapped in their base, just hoping to live.
You can't
That's what
say
we saw
that.
that last game, right?
Animal, Poppy, animal. Yeah, very interesting stats here for our players, especially because I think we know that Astrea is a really wild player. Like he's willing to try different strategies, and as a result of trying different strategies, like he can be surprisingly aggressive.
Yeah, he kind of goes both ways. He has these strategies where he goes very aggressively into these offbeat timings, but he also has some kind of like economic cheese sort of plays that he goes for. When he is in one of those kind of spicy moods, he can pull out some things that you really haven't seen before, but it all comes from his understanding of the game. It's well founded. It's not just gambling.
Oh yeah, exactly. The strategy is definitely deserving to be maybe a little bit higher here. I think maybe mindset, maybe more so than strategy. Because of his mindset, he's very receptive when it comes to exploring the game and exploring like these offbeat timings. So Astrea is very unique in that sense. And I hope he's able to show that not just to us, but to the people, to the admins, to the organizers, so he can get some goddamn extra points here and become maybe a higher tier player.
And we talk about this every week about the players showing off their skills to, impress the organizers and change their hexagons. But I still don't actually know if the hexagons change from week to week or even year to year.
Yeah,
I guess definitely year to year.
Definitely maybe season to season. But maybe the chat can let us know if they've noticed. Have any of these stats changed over the course of the round robin, like week to week basis? I hope so. As in the bottom left-hand corner on Waterfall, representing Alpha X, we have Astrea.
And in the top right-hand corner of the map, one game away from confirming this big upset for the Starving Camels. This is Silky.
And here we go, Silky, a very historic player, the best Zerg player in all of China. He is here looking to do it for the Starving Camels. Now, bear this in mind. Silky only needs to win one game, and SSLT are going to be the victors. He only needs one.
Yeah, one is all it takes. Meanwhile, we do see him going for this unnatural natural, as his comrades have had to do for most of these games.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried, not gonna lie. If history is to repeat itself, Zerg has been having a hard time today, as it usually is. Oh god, but yeah, I'm really excited to see what our players have in store for us, especially because, of course, they are forced in map number 1 to be on Waterfall, a very unique map. I expect to see one of these players hit a strong timing here. I want to see that coming out from Silky, especially when you're going up against Max goddamn Angel. He's a Titan in his own respective region, and a powerful region at that.
sometimes when I'm in the Discord and I want to make a meme kind of complaining about Zerg a little bit, like you
Uh-huh.
need a Zerg logo, right? If you
Yeah.
want to complain about Zerg. So if
Yeah.
I want to find a Zerg logo, what I do is I go to the Wikipedia page and I
Uh-huh.
go to like the results for all the global tournaments and I have lots of different Zerg logos to pick from.
Oh my god, the propaganda is real, Buffy. Oh my god, yeah, you probably have to go back into like that historic view for that,
Yeah,
wouldn't
I
you?
just pick a tournament and bam, right there. Zerg logo.
Oh
Incredible.
my god. Ay, ay, ay. Ah. Anyway. The balance is real, but
I could
look.
do this all day.
This is what happens when we don't let Asher cast a Terran player. This is what happens. Like it has to come out in some capacity. Okay,
I'm like, Zerg loses every game. They're broken.
they're broken, Poppy. They're broken. They should be losing faster, Poppy. What are they doing?
As we
Get me
do
to my
have-
TBT.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we do have for Australia. He is going for this Stargate opening. He's going to be starting things out very standard. He's chasing down these Lings as well with the Adepts, so he is going to be able to abuse a little bit that these two bases are split from each other.
Yeah, exactly. You know, this is kind of the ideal scenario for this opener, for this Adept. Any kind of transferring drones are going to be completely eviscerated by this Adept as well in between the bases. Meanwhile, behind it, Astrea, like many other Protoss players tonight, is going for that Oracle first.
Yeah, he's going to be making that Oracle first. So, Astrea has shown time and time again that he is one that prefers to go for this hero style, but often goes a lot heavier into the Oracles. I've seen him even go for like 9 or 10 Oracles a few times.
Oh yeah! Oh my god! I don't want to see that. That's too much. That's too far, puppy. That's
Yeah, it's kind of hilarious. Once you get up to that kind of count, you can just like run on top of spores and just kill the spores and queens.
Yeah, mate, you can do anything, puppy.
You kill the base.
You can kill the base. You can kill the queens. At that point, once you get 9 oracles, they can actually shoot up. They unlock a hidden
They combine
ability.
their beam and they just shoot the sun. And you win the game.
You win. It's insta
Zodia.
win the game, puppy. Oh my
Yeah.
god. You found it's like the wonder in Age of Empires, mate. That's what that is.
Yeah, exactly. We don't talk about that game here. I'm gonna give you a warning for that one, like.
Aye. It's okay. It's okay. They only took hut from us. It's fine. It's not important. Look, he's Terran. Okay,
coming out is like
we don't need any more of them Terrans. Okay, good riddance.
you're like ANZ champs tomorrow. I hope Dab's playing. I hope Chase is playing. Hut, I hope you enjoy Age of Empires at the moment.
Oh my god. Mate, didn't we just like do we want to talk about Terran at ANZ champs? Do we want to
No.
Oh god.
Well, here we go. We do have these devs just dipping and getting 5 drone kills. So Australia already looking to be in a bit of a lead in this game. These Oracle's going to dip in and find this base with no queens at it as well. So they're just going to have free pickings at these drones.
Yeah, exactly. Silky being very greedy right now, by the way. I don't know if you noticed, but he actually rushed into his lair. He's rushing into his Hydra Den as well, cutting a lot of queens. As a result, he has been a little bit abused and he's been losing a lot of work as he's stumbling his way into this Hydra push, but it is still on the way as he faces Glaive Adepts.
Yeah, and this is something that I have seen recently actually in a Mio Micah versus Solar off racing game. Ling Hydra does not trade well with Glaive Adepts.
No, Glaive Adepts love light units. They love Lings. They like Hydras. They like all things that right now Silky is working towards. The Glaive Adepts, they shade on in, and he doesn't really have much to hold on. He's got these queens, which will be able to tank a couple of these shots, but they don't have that much engine for transfuse.
Yeah, these queens are not going to be able to survive the attack from the Adepts. They're just going to be able to churn through these. They might even be able to juck over to the third, and they're going to be getting a lot of these drones. Almost every drone at that third going to be going down for Australia, and he is just chasing down the units of Silky.
Yeah, and there's nothing to fear either. The Hydras come out, sure, that's great, but now they're just gonna die. Oh my god, as they get one shot by all of these Adepts, the drone count getting lower and lower. Unfortunately, Silky misread this game. He assumed that it was going to be Oracles into Blink Stalkers, which Ling Hydra is really good against. Not so much this.
Yes, Oracles into Adepts was a very well hidden strategy, and we are seeing These Adepts are getting straight on top of these drones out, shredding through them. Silky has to GG, and Astrea is getting his team back into this one.
Oh, GG. Is that a cockatoo in the background?
I don't know, I missed it. Maybe it's a camel. Maybe he's going to pull it out.
Oh, he's going to eat the camel. He's going to bite the head off the camel, mate.
You know, it would be a sick celebration if they had something that looked like the cactus and they like put it in, he like put it in his mouth and like did the face of the camel.
No, just get a real cactus. Just get an actual cactus
and bite it. It's worth it.
Just bite it, mate. Just bite it for the camera. Let's go. Oh my god. GG, well played there by Astrea. Again, kind of a build order win there. But there was a lot going into the lead up and a lot also coming down to the fact that Silky did misread the situation. He wasn't able to get eyes on all those adepts until it was a little bit too late, until he was already committed to his tech path.
Yeah, and I want to give Astrea props as well just for going for that build. He is the kind of player that would research his opponent, probably knows that Silky has been playing more of these heavy Ling styles, maybe even knows that he's been going into Hydras a lot lately versus the Oracles, so I wouldn't be surprised at all if Astrea had planned this out.
Yeah, I know these players in WTL do a lot of research on their opponents, as they are given a couple of days heads up, and yeah, they do quite well for that. Oh boy, but yeah, a bit of a rough start here from Silky, but now it is going to be his map choice, and he's going to be able to dictate the pace of the game and choose the final arena here, or potentially the final game.
I really like how you said Adepts love light, because they do. They're just trying to give you a hug. They just want to be with your drones.
They just want hugs, like, puppy. They just
care
want
about
some
you, light.
They want some love. And they're not gonna get it.
You're like, there's no drones there for you to hug.
True. You end up show up and there's nothing there, Poppy. You know, we're going for a macro Ling roach attack. Okay, it's okay.
Like, oh my these God. Drones, I know you love them, but they've gone to get milk. They'll be back.
Smurge, Poppy. Just like Papi. Look, they just put a bag on their head, so they just left town.
I had a whole bunch of these Spider-Man jokes in my head, and I'm just like, this is not going to make sense to anyone.
It's not. No, why are they talking about Spider-Man? What's happening?
Well, let's get back to this game. We do have Data Sea lined up under the sea. Lined up for this next match. So with Silky going for this against Astrea, I have to think that he is wanting more of a macro game.
Yeah, this is a much more standard map, a more defensible map, and this kind of makes sense, especially based off of what we just saw, you know, being pulled apart by those Glaive Adepts. He's going to have a little bit more time to respond, react, and also scout. So I do think this makes a lot of sense from Silky. I have to wonder, though, does he really intend to go into Ling Hydra again? Because I feel like he kind of showed his hand already.
Yeah, that is an interesting point. If Astrea does just go back into that Oracle Blink style, Silky might be a little bit put off going straight into Hydras. Even if he does still want to go for that, he might want to go for a safety Roach Warren first. But here we go in the bottom left-hand corner, playing for Alpha X. This is Astrea.
And the top right-hand corner of Team SSLT, it is Silky. Now, if I'm not mistaken, of course, Silky has to win this game to win it all for the Camels. If Astrea takes this game, ace match?
So, considering they're going to be going to an ace match, I'm pretty confident that Firefly... Oh, well, if they do... No, I didn't mean to say that.
Oh my God! I was like, okay.
No, what I meant to say was, if they do go to an ace match... I'm pretty confident that Firefly will be who they send, yeah.
Yeah, that would make the most sense. Firefly coming out. I feel like Alpha X have more options available to them. I think
Mhm.
we put a lot of stock into Astrea, but at the same time, RagnaroK is a GSL level player. He made it to the finals of GSL. You know, respect where respect is due. And maybe he wants his chance at revenge as well. Maybe Zoun would feel confident to snipe PvP, which makes sense to me. I do think that Zoun, he can definitely punch up in the PvP matchup. So they have a lot of different things to think about if we get there. Of course, that is a big if though, because we don't want to count our ducklings before they hatch.
Well, yeah, that's what I was getting at. Is we might get a PvP.
True. Oh boy. Well, until then, so far we have some pretty standard openers. Outside of the fact that Silky did go for a hatch gas pool, but he went for a very fast third hatchery.
Yeah, very quick hatch. This is this old Korean style ZVP where you go for that 20 hatch. So something that was very popular before, and I don't actually know why it isn't anymore. So maybe we'll find out. Maybe Astrea's got the answer.
Maybe Astrea has the answer for this greed. Of course, this is going to be delaying some of these queens. We can't make two immediately, so it's going to slow that down a little bit here for Silky. But yeah, you're correct. Like, this did kind of fall out of favor. I think a lot of the time, like, it would just get blocked and denied as well. But yeah, I kind of like this kind of switch up here for Silky.
Yeah, for sure. This is an interesting way to get yourself into the game. We see Astrea as a response is going to be sending this Adept straight across the map. Does have that Stargate coming up behind this, so most likely going to be an Oracle opening once again.
Yeah, exactly. It should be that Oracle. Meanwhile, Astrea, I believe he hasn't scouted that third base yet. Oh, he does get that creep tumor though.
This is so funny. It's kind of like a ZVT now.
Yeah, it is that 3 hatch ZVT opener, and then how just like every other ZVT, the tumors are dying. Smooth.
And I wish Reapers did that much damage to tumors.
You're an animal. Oh god. So yeah, Astrea's just gonna be able to get his eye on a couple of things, and now he can set up and get ready for his own expansion. His Adept is already in position to help try and keep it up.
Yeah, I think a good response to this is to take that third extremely early. So we should be seeing that going down right now. So nice early third coming out from him. He can really skimp on those Adepts, knowing that there's not going to be a huge flood of Speedlings coming his way. And now we have this Oracle dipping in, and there's no Spore.
Oh, no Spore. There were 2 queens, and they do some hull damage to this Oracle, but not before 2 workers are going to be going down. And again, very greedy here. There was no second Oracle behind this. Like, this third base from from Astrea is pretty exposed, but Silky's just been busy droning.
Yeah, exactly. We are seeing Silky just drone on up, so feeling quite confident to just kind of take Astrea's best shots and macro through this. We do see these gases going down as well, so maybe looking to get that safety roach for him, but a lot of drones going down once again.
4 more drones go down. Great control here from Astrea. We see Adepts on the way as well. Oh my god, he's going straight to a second Stargate.
Oh, no fleet beacon. Zerg's having a rough time of it today, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my god, the Adepts are coming on in, and unfortunately Silky doesn't really have much to respond here. He's just been droning heavily. The Lings, they turn around, they were in the middle of going across the map, and he's gonna pay a massive price for it.
Yeah, really nice micro coming out from Astrea. We'll be focusing down 6 of those drones. Oracle's going to be dipping in once again with their shields recharged. Going to be taking out 2 more of those drones. That's a lot of drones that have gone down just to these Oracles, and we are seeing most likely straight into carriers out of Astrea.
Yeah, he can go straight into carriers. There we go. Carrier production has commenced. This is all scouted by this Overlord, by the way. The Money Overlord saw the Stargate, saw the fleet beacon, sees the production, and there we go. Silky throws down a Spire.
Yes, by going down straight away. But this is what I was talking about with Astrea being such a strong strategic player. If you go for these more stylistic openings like that 20 hatch at the third, skipping out on so many Lings as he is, Astrea is going to be very confident with how he wants to play his game plan out against that. He's a very intelligent player.
He really is. But what I will say for Silky is that at least like he was able to get the scout really early on and respond relatively early as well. So he shouldn't die to the first wave of carriers. I know there are some Protoss players that they push out with their first two carriers, try to kill the queens and end the game. So Silky should be okay in the anti-air department. We could be looking to get into a longer game.
Yeah, exactly. As you say that, we do see Astrea throwing down the Twilight Forge Robo, a bunch more extra gateways. He's getting the +1 air, but we'll have access to everything that he needs to make a ground army as well.
Yeah, he's going to have a supportive ground army with these carriers. Meanwhile, the first carrier is going to be moving out, revealing itself. Of course, he's aware that it was already revealed just to deal a little bit of damage. Not necessarily looking to deal any key damage, but, you know, clearing up some overlords, clearing up some creep, denying some creep. Here we go with these 8 corruptors. Again, Silky should be fine against this. Astrea has to be careful not to overextend with these carriers.
That's what you think. He can just recall them. Like.
True. He can just recall, already dishing out damage to this 4th base. Can he force a cancel here? Does he have enough DPS? The corruptors are just now coming out, but is it too late? Ooh.
Yeah, looks like he's actually going to take the queens and doesn't manage to get the down. This hatch does use the recall, a little bit of hull damage going down on those carriers, but will be safe as he starts to get up this gateway wall, gets the cannons, got the 4th base on the way. These oracles once again dipping in and getting yet more damage.
Yeah, 3 more drones going down. Silky's had a really hard time getting his economy up and running. We can see that he's still behind worker-wise compared to Astrea. That's not something that you ever want to be seeing here in a ZVP, as we're even kind of equal in bases as well.
Actually, I do want to be seeing that. I think it's pretty cool.
You disgust me, Asher.
Animal.
Animal. Oh my god.
Yeah, meanwhile we see Astrea just shoring up his defenses here, setting up those cannons, making those gateway walls, getting those stasis traps down, making a fortress out of these bases.
Yeah, and Silky, he is done droning. He had the option to if he wanted to, but he is making nothing but roaches and lings behind this. He's looking to hit a very strong timing here and try to end the game. I say timing. +1 air attack and +1 range are still on the horizon, so a little bit of an anti-timing here, but he wants to try and slow down Astrea in some way.
Yeah, he's going to be running in here. Astrea, he does have 1 immortal here that he's going to be going down pretty quickly to the roaches. He does drag him into a massive stasis trap, forming a force field as well, so this really does spell the end to this push, just for the moment at least.
Yeah, and this buys enough time for the cannons to finish up, for more warbins, for Astrea to respond to this aggression of Silky. He's going to try and commit, though. We do see it's going to be able to depower some of these gateways, but he can't break it.
Oh, and these Archons right on top of the units, they deal so much damage all at once, and Silky trying to save those units, but ends up losing all of them anyway, and just manages to depower these gateways. That's it.
And we actually have Silky replenishing the lost roaches. I'm a little bit surprised by that. He's trying to re-drone as well. He's throwing down a Hydra Den. I'm not too sure about taking up in that direction when we already have a Spire for Corruptors. But yeah, maybe he's not too comfortable going into like Corruptor, Broodlord, Infestor.
Yeah, meanwhile, we do see Astrea very comfortable defending here. It's just going to be whopping in another round of those Zealots and getting into the higher carrier count. So he'll be very comfortable just to sit back until he's closer to maxed out.
Yeah, exactly. And ever closer does he get. Silky's already maxed, but again, with a Road Ravage army, this is what I was worried about. Silky, he's switching gears from these like air upgrades. Now he's got Hydras on the way and a Lurker Den on the way as well. So going for this hybrid style, the upgrades don't really complement each other. It's yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Just starting to look to improve his army, but if Astrea does go into a higher carrier count, and he has only shown the initial 3 carriers that he made, those Lurkers are going to be almost useless against a high carrier count.
Yeah, I'm really worried about that anti-air. But I guess Lurkers, they have their place against this mainly Archon army that's pushing on forward here from Astrea. This Spine Force is a little bit too late here, and Astrea is just going to get this base for free.
Yeah, and Astrea has so many Archons here. They are more than enough to protect the carriers from the Corruptors.
Yeah, exactly. The Corruptors are just not having a way in towards those carriers. The Roaches are trying to push in forward as well, but the Disruptors are there to deal with them. And now the Corruptors, 2 of them go down.
Yeah, this is beautiful control coming out of Astrea. I really love the way he's got this army set up where the Archons are zoning out the Corruptors and then the Disruptors are zoning out the Roaches.
Yeah, there's just no way for Silky to get on top of these carriers. He's being dismantled as we speak, as Astrea just micros his way forward, just completely shutting down everything Zerg.
Yeah, such confidence coming out from Astrea. Just going to work his way through, gets the win, clutches things out for Alpha X, and they will be going to the ace match.
Wow, GG, well played. And is that a cockatoo up there? On the shelf. Did you see it?
Kind of saw it. I have no idea what it is, to be honest.
GG, very well played by Astrea, going for two very different styles in the first and the second game, but showing his dominance in this matchup, showing why he is on fire at the moment and is one of the best players in North America.
Yeah, exactly. Showing that dominance, showing that depth of strategy as well, and clutching things out for his team. It was very important that he won both of those games. You could see a lot of relief on his face as well. It's really nice to see these players getting so into the team league. They definitely, it feels like there's a lot of, I don't know, what's the word for it? Like, they really do care about their teams.
Yeah, a lot of like maybe pride or I don't know, they just want to do what they can for their teams, for their teammates. Meanwhile, because Astrea took that series, who's that Pokemon?
Who's that Pokemon?
It's
Clem.
Clem. It's both Clem, right? It has to, it is, right? It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just have like, you know, in like racing games where you have like the ghost version of your like best lap or whatever, and you can play against that. So it's just like the ghost Clems against each other. The AIs have just worked out that the best way to play is just be Clem.
Yeah, I agree, Asher. You know, it makes sense for a Terran player to be chosen here as the best player, or as the best possible player to be chosen. So,
yeah, you want the most talented player. You want someone who can overcome like all their difficulties. So you just get the AI to be Clem, and then you put him on the best race Zerg. Unstoppable.
Mate, you know who it should be? It should be XY.
True.
XY should be here with maybe like a photoshopped bigger brain. I don't know. A bigger head.
With his book opened.
Yeah.
We have trained this AI on the writings of XY for 200,000 years, and this is what we've got.
Oh, and here we go. I mean, we were discussing it earlier. It makes sense to bring out Firefly. He is the ace player of SSLT. But Alpha X have chosen Astrea. Yeah,
this is really exciting because these are the two players who performed the best for their team as well. Firefly getting that massive 2-0 upset over RagnaroK, and then Astrea looking absolutely dominant in his 2-0 over Silky. So it's going to be the clash of the two informed players, and that's really exciting, especially on a map like Data C where we're going to see a little bit more of a game, unless I just jinxed it.
I mean, it's quite possible. If you remember the last time we had an ace match, it was a TVT between Maro and Clem, and it lasted like 5 minutes. And it could happen again just because of how volatile PvP can be. In a best of one, a PvP is crazy. Thankfully, because it's Data C, we should be seeing some gate expands. Should, though. I mean, it's still a PvP.
Wait. Astrea's going to cannon rush him. And then build Void Rays in his natural.
Oh, no. Astrea wouldn't do that in the ace match of his team league match, right? Would he do that? No. Oh my god. But yeah, you know, the pressure is definitely on. SSLT are so close to causing this upset. The players have done so well coming this far and bringing Alpha X to the brink. Can they go all the way though?
Man, Firefly is like, there should be a badge of me. I'm gonna make it so you guys have to make a badge of me. I'm gonna perform out of my mind, take down Alpha X. Next he's coming for Maru.
Oh, let's go. And then he's gonna eat the cactus on stream.
He will devour that cactus.
Yeah, he's gonna embody the starring Camel Papi. That is who he will be. Oh my god. Either that or how hard is it to catch a Firefly?
I don't know. Like we don't really have fireflies in Australia.
True, true. Can you like go down to can you like buy fireflies? Is that a thing?
Like as a pet?
Well, I mean, like you can buy crickets, you know?
Like to eat it?
Well, you can buy crickets for like your pet lizards and stuff like that, you know? Like there's got to be like a market for buying fireflies, right? Even if it's just for like aesthetic purposes, for like I don't know, like a wedding or something at night.
Like, do you have a pet lizard? Are you?
I do.
Are you a lizard person?
I am a lizard man. Yes, I really. This is me. Just I want to know if I can buy some fireflies. Okay.
Are you hungry? Is this what it's come to? You're like, I've run out of ramen. I need some bugs to eat.
I have no ramen left, puppy. Look, I can relate with Rufus. Every time he gets hungry for some bugs, I'm like, oh, let's go.
True. You're like, that's so me, relatable.
Hashtag relatable, puppy. Oh my god.
You know, that feeling when you see Firefly in a game and you're like, that reminds me of how hungry I am. Like, guys, can you stop talking about fireflies? I haven't had dinner yet.
I just want to eat him up, puppy. That's all I want. Oh god. But yeah, we'll see if Astrea's hungry. If he's hungry for some fireflies as well. Oh god, it's so hard to like predict how this PvP is gonna go. Like yeah, especially because I haven't seen too much of Astrea's PvP, I'll be honest. Like I'm sure there's VODs out there of Astrea playing against Trigger and Astrea playing against Neeb, I guess in Atlanta. I don't know if you recall any of those games.
The only thing I can really remember is him doing disgusting things with DTs.
True.
Like I think I've seen him go blink DT in PvP before. And I just know that he's the kind of player that's always got... I mean, he's a very smart player. And when it comes to PvP, there's a lot of different options. So he's the kind of player that's always going to have DTs in the back of his mind. And if Firefly does go for a greedy opening, that's going to be something I'm looking out for.
True, true. Do you think he's crazy enough in the Ace match to open up Twilight Council Dark Shrine? Just straight up?
Probably not the best idea. That would be a pretty spectacular way to throw.
Or win.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if he just wants to leave it up to the PvP gods.
True.
It's always an option.
Yeah, man, it's a PvP. You always leave it up to the gods. we be flipping coins, papi. Let's go.
Yeah. But yeah, now that you say that as well, that does give Starving Camels probably their best shot for an upset here.
Oh, really? It really does. It really does. I mean, there's so much that can happen in a PvP. We talk about this all the time, but like some of these core units in this matchup, like their DT or like your Disruptor, has massive combat potential. There are certain build orders that just like work better than others. We could even see like Proxy Robo or something like that in case someone's too greedy. We can see, Papi, they can call from inside the house.
I haven't seen that in a while. I remember that game. That was insane.
That was
that Nightmare?
Yeah, that was Nightmare versus Exo Striker.
Oh
my god.
How can you remember the other player?
I just remember a lot of useless things sometimes, okay? Mr. Purple Perdos People Eater.
That's Poppy.
Poppy.
If you can remember that information, why can't you remember the builds, Poppy?
What builds? What are you talking about? What do you mean?
Hey, you play Zerg. You don't have builds.
Play Zerg, Poppy. I just make units. And then I lose.
Do stuff. You're like, where are my hatcheries?
Where are my hatcheries? Why do I keep unhooking them in the middle of fights?
I never hotkeyed in the first place.
Look, you can't unhotkey a hatchery if you don't hotkey it to begin with.
That is true.
Facts and logic.
You also can't make units out of lava that you don't have hotkey.
But I can balance wine after I lose. I can.
We do have a little bit of a delay as we go into this one. Maybe the two players just kind of working out what servers they want to play this one on, and maybe just getting a drink, just getting themselves comfortable, getting themselves ready for a very intense showdown. I know Australia did just finish his best of 3, but here we go.
Yeah, in the top right-hand corner of Data Under the Sea, representing Alpha X, we have Astrea.
And in the bottom left-hand corner, strange place for a camel to find itself under the sea, but this is Firefly.
In my mind, the camel has like a
Snorkel?
snorkel. Yeah,
Yeah. I've seen that
know!
picture. There's definitely like
Yeah.
there's a company or something
Yeah.
that has that as their logo. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah, sure, company. Yeah, why not?
isn't that? No, like that's 100% something I've seen.
People in the chat, there's other mate. Everyone in the chat, you've seen a camel with a snorkel, right? We've seen it. Why do we know this, Asher? What is?
I feel like it's an Australian brand.
Maybe it's an Australian brand. I don't think it's a brand.
Oh, no, I think I know what it is.
What is it? Is it a show? Is it like a TV show?
Does Thirsty Camel have a snorkel?
What's a
No, it
thirsty
doesn't. It's a bottle shop.
Okay.
I'm trying to find it. Camel snorkel logo. Nothing.
Oh my god! Yeah, look. Somehow, some way, we both have the exact same image in our minds. We don't know how we got it. But speaking of having images in our minds, we do have some different openers. Astrea going for his gate expand was not delayed, by the way. He does get his Nexus down on location, and Firefly opens up with the 2-gate.
Yeah, opens up with the 2-gate, hides his pylon as well. So maybe looking to just kind of freak Astrea out a little bit. Is going to be showing where this probe came from, though, which does help narrow things down for Astrea, and he might actually be able to find this pylon.
Oh, exactly. We'll see if he does end up coming across it right now. Firefly kind of feigning hyper aggression right now with some kind of proxy out on the map. Meanwhile, he goes for his own probe scout, recognizes the opener of Astrea, which is standard. I feel like he should be expecting this. So yeah, I wonder. Yeah, he even delays his Nexus even further by going for the Stargate.
Yeah, we do have both players going for that Stargate. Astrea just going to be looking around for that pylon, but doesn't really seem to be overreacting yet. Firefly is representing something more along the lines of like a 3-gate robo or a 4-gate here.
Yeah, he is, and I'm waiting for maybe even that probe towards the north to throw that in a pylon, but he goes for another scout instead. We're not seeing another proxy pylon. We're not seeing a third gateway. We're not seeing any other signs of aggression. We should be seeing Firefly going for an expansion soon.
Yeah, very interesting. Astrea does send out that shade. Will be scouting that there is 2 adepts coming his way. Does manage to deny the scout as well. Both players going for an oracle.
Yeah, both players are going for the Oracle, despite scouting each other, or at least Firefly scouting Astrea, I believe. But yeah, no one has opted to go for a Phoenix or anything like that. Astrea scouts with his own adept, and he does confirm, okay, you have expanded.
Yeah, that is a huge scout there for Astrea, confirming that Nexus does also see these gateways up here are not producing, so that should make him feel a lot more confident that he's not getting all in, and we actually see him going into a Phoenix.
Oh, exactly. So Oracle into Phoenix here is going to be able to shut down the eventual Oracle here of Firefly as they do kind of pass each other in the middle of the map. It does feel like Astrea is just straight up ahead right now. Like he's ahead 10 workers, like just because of the openers.
Yeah, exactly. Part of me kind of wishes that Firefly was actually going for something more aggressive.
Yeah, same. I wish there was, that third gateway. Meanwhile, in comes that Oracle, and oh god, a very late reaction here. A lot of probes are going down.
Yeah, really late on that warp in, late on the pull as well, and no shield battery here. So Astrea is just going to fully commit that Oracle. Gets 9 probes, 10 probes. That is game-ending damage right there.
At the same time, double Oracle of Firefly does get in, and he deals equalizing damage. Equalizing in a way, we do see 14 workers going down, but Firefly is still behind in that worker count.
Wow, great damage though for Firefly. He's going to sack these Oracles and get 17 probe kills, so gets himself back in the game.
Definitely. I don't think either of us really assumed that 17 probes will die. That's an entire mineral line and then some. So very nice damage here. The double adept doesn't get in though. Unfortunately, there was a full wall here from Astrea. At the same time, Oracle dips in once again. Oh, barely escapes.
Yeah, 2 more of those going down and does escape there with its life. We see both players going into blink, so just going to be Astrea with a slight probe lead. And Worker leads in mirror matchups, especially when you're low on workers, can be extremely significant.
Oh, it really can. And like as you're saying, in these mirror matchups, this is where it impacts the players the most. We have seen that Firefly has done a decent job at like trying to close that gap, but the gap is still present.
Hey, Astrea found the pylon.
Oh, he's coming for it.
He's mad.
Oh god, the stalkers are coming across the map. I believe we do have a standing army here for Firefly. Meanwhile, it looks like the stalkers are going to reveal themselves here at the southern location. Ooh, Astrea standing up at the stasis trap.
Yeah, Astrea just setting up a little bit of a bait there. He's going to show that Oracle as well, but looks like this adept might just set it off. Not quite.
Ooh. Yeah, it does get focused down in the end. Meanwhile, Firefly setting up a proxy pylon here, potentially a real pylon to actually add to that production. I wouldn't be opposed to that, especially because Astrea is going for his own third.
Yeah, exactly. Astrea with a huge lead here, and considering that he is going in for that third, we'll be able to maybe go for a little bit of an all-in here, but Astrea is going to be trading out with these stalkers. There are just more here for Firefly, but Astrea just going to run away.
There it is. There is that proxy gateway being thrown down across the map. Firefly on 2 bases intends to make nothing but stalkers right now. He doesn't have the stalker lead. Ooh, we did have Astrea getting a couple of extra shots off there using those side blockers.
Yeah, Astrea stopping there in the side blockers. He's going to be blinking after the stalkers as well, so taking some very nice trades and absolutely dwarfing Firefly in the supply. He's going to be able to deal with these stalkers while getting up his third base, but has been outpositioned a little bit here.
Yeah, Firefly is 100% all in right now. It looks like he's going to be able to force a cancel on the third base. This is nice, but this isn't enough. He needs to do more than just this because at the same time, Astrea is going across the map with his own army.
Yeah, he might get the denial on the third base, but Astrea looking to get the kill on the natural, and Firefly is just so behind here.
Yeah, here we go. Astrea's pulling the boys. A couple of shield batteries on the way. They're not done yet. We have the blink on forward. Firefly, likewise, is also breaking the natural of Astrea.
Yeah, Firefly is going to be breaking through here, so a lot of probes going down. Should be a lot of probes going down on his side, but Astrea, he comes home, he cleans up the last of the army, he gets the win, he does it for Alpha X.
The smile on his face. Unfortunately, he didn't have a camel ready to bite into or a cactus or anything like that, but regardless, GG, well played. Astrea does it for his team, for Alpha X, and they take the series 4-3.
Man, Protoss wins again. Unbelievable.
PvP unwinnable, Poppy. As very well done there by Astrea, just coming out ahead when it came to the openers and the execution of the openers. We did see that Firefly was doing a surprising amount of damage with his double Oracle. Don't get us wrong, but despite that, despite getting 17 probes, it still wasn't enough.
Yeah, it wasn't quite enough to equalize the advantage that Astrea got from that gate first and all the damage that he got as well. So well fought by Firefly. He did an incredible job against RagnaroK, but Astrea, the star, clutching things out for Alpha X today.
Yeah, exactly. Very well played indeed. And with that, we are done with our first series. And we're not just done with our first series. We may be done with a little bit more than that as Asher. Oh. The series lasted 2 hours. It went the distance, and we do have to get up in the morning tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Asher? What do you think?
I don't mind. I'm gonna leave it up to you.
We'll be back in 4 minutes, everyone. We'll be back. Enjoy the break, as when we return, we will have Invictus Gaming versus Psystorm.